Hello and welcome to Volume 6 of the Calisthenics Grandmaster series. We are running on day 275. Let's get right into the data I teased about in last week's update. Here we have it on the top left corner. During this week's workouts I have been able to get more out of myself in the first set. The average set times have slightly risen and I feel very confident about my form now. In these clips I am still using books with my self PCs. Those together give a height advantage of around 3.2 cm or 1.5 inches in freedom units. My legs have also gotten stronger and I'm now able to keep those straight throughout my sets. For next week I will take the books away and just use the self PCs as elevation. That is 2 cm of elevation or 3/4 of an inch. The purple book I have been using is also a little soft, which has caused some minor wrist pain. This adjustment should fix the problem. In next week's episode we will see how this height adjustment will affect my set times. I'm really glad to have started gathering this data as I think it will prove to be useful for later purposes. I was also thinking of making a flow chart about different exercises I have been using to progress myself towards these exercises. Maybe I'll add one in the next week's episode. These next clips are me doing a new exercise for the front part of the shoulder. I once again changed this exercise from last week's leg taps, and before that we had our frog stand. The reason I swapped to this was because in last week's episode I had my scapula retracted instead of protracted. I'm calling these pseudo plans lean legs on the floor because I'm doing the pseudo plans lean and my legs are on the floor. As you can see in these clips, my scapula is in a lot better place while I'm doing this compared to last week. This means once again new piece of graphs and the old one for the plans lean leg taps is no longer used and we will start gathering data for this. Compared to last week I get a lot better pump and a lot better form, and these times are not too long for these sets, which means it is not yet too easy for me. And after I master this I can easily move on to the leg tap version. I know it doesn't look like much, but you can see how tense my shoulders are here, and if you try this at home I guarantee you will burn. A lot of these calisthenics exercises feel like you start off with a too advanced exercise because you think you are stronger than you actually are, and this is why I have started to develop an addiction to calisthenics. In the beginning of every set my form is really good, and after I get a bit tired my scapula starts to retract once again, but I think it's fine because I have it under control and I just use bad form in the end to get the last bit of feeling for my shoulders and try to make them stronger. Looking at the set data, this is the most rational data across all my exercises because it only has one inconsistency, where on 11th of December my second set was longer than the first set. This inconsistency actually happens quite a lot in other exercises. Pseudo plans lean with legs on the floor might be the best exercise I have yet tried judging by the data. This is why measuring and filming is so important. Without these tools, realizing I was doing something wrong might have taken me much longer than just 1 week. Every week I try to film as many clips of me working out as I can, but if I'm working out in public, or rather in a gym, I won't do that because I just don't have good equipment and I want to give everyone some peace. But when summer comes I will go outside and take the camera with me, and it will be a lot nicer to actually work out rather than in my home because I don't have that special place, and starting a workout while you're at home and not leaving your home is mentally difficult. Also I like the sunlight that I get from working outside in the summer. These handstand clips in the background are me trying to find balance and just spending as much time on my hands in the handstand as possible. I have noticed that I get a lot less fatigue from being on my hands than in the beginning, where I would see stars in my eyes. I will let the rest of the handstand clips just roll with 3x speed as there is not really anything interesting going on with them, just regular grinding. We will be back with a new episode next week. where we will focus on how my LSIT progresses without the books and just using the self pieces. I'm really excited to move on forward, and we are really close to the LSIT, I feel like. So have a nice rest of your week and see you later.